Hey, my loves. Yes, I remember I have a channel, and yes, I remembered I have to upload, but I wanted to upload a banger video that I know I can just show my recent travel journey to Dubai. This time I used Emirates. It's been a while since I actually traveled in Emirates, about 4 years. I always like to take a variety, be it British Airways, Cathay Pacific, United. I've always shared my journey ever since I've started this channel, just so that I can get a different perspective. But Emirates is like the best. It's home. So yeah, this time I'm actually traveling to India, and this time I'm doing a transit in Dubai. So more on that later. Do subscribe to this channel. But as you can see, this was a lot of queue. Obviously, with all these restrictions going down, you see a lot more people. This particular line is for the COVID test. Yes, they were very strict. Some of the airlines do require a prior COVID test. At an SFO, you always have the rapid test. You can also take the kit as well, which you get. It's widely available in the US. So you can actually take the kit and also do a rapid test, antigen test, or a PCR test, depending on what the airlines require. Emirates, traveling to Dubai didn't require any tests. You just needed to show the vaccination card, provided you're fully vaccinated. If not, for sure, you need to take a test. As you can see, most of the flights here are on time, and most of the flights were full, including the one that I'm going, which is to Dubai. Surprisingly, it's a Boeing 777, with the configuration 3 seats, 4 seats, and 3 seats, and it was a full flight. Another thing I do want to mention is that nowadays Emirates is a little cheeky, wherein they don't actually allow seats prior. So previously, 48 hours before boarding, I could just go to the website, click the seats that are available. Mostly the 48 hours prior is free, and any time before that you have to actually pay for aisle seat or window seat. But now they're very cheeky about it, and they actually make sure it's unavailable so that you actually pay for the seats. So this time I actually got a middle seat, then I had to go into the gate and fight for it. But yeah, made sure that I got the window seat this time. But yeah, it is a lot of trouble, so just take a pro tip. Most of the airlines are doing this same thing, including Qatar. So just keep that in mind as well. So here's the San Francisco duty free, which again is not that very glamorous compared to the Dubai duty free, but it is what it is. You get a lot of chocolates here. Again, if you're local, I would definitely suggest you to buy somewhere outside than the duty free, unless you want some souvenirs from San Francisco, which is pretty cool in my opinion, but obviously pretty expensive as well. Stuff ranges $30, $40 above the normal price. Like a Ghirardelli chocolate bag in any store, retail store, a Walmart or Target, or literally any store, is just $7 at max, but at the duty free you get it for $14 or $8, depending on the size of the packet. So yeah, lint or anything, if you're if you're from SFO, definitely consider shopping locally. The other thing is that what I wanted to test was, buying chocolates and giving it to the stewardess or the flight attendants in the flight, and seeing whether the service depends or changes. I did that, but I just wanted to tell you that there was literally nothing that changed. I didn't get an upgrade. I did that because people were saying you might get upgraded, and all that stuff. None of that stuff happened. So if you're trying to buy something for the stewardess, it's a nice gesture, but anyways, you're not going to get upgraded for sure. At least that was my perspective. Granted, it was a full flight. I'm not sure why all the flights are full. I think the pandemic has a lot more reasons for it. People couldn't travel for a very long time, and now with all the restrictions that are going down, you could. A couple of things that I did notice is that if you're traveling to India, definitely have your air suvidha printed out. The people at the check-in counters do check for that. You should also check which state you're going to. Suppose if it's Chennai, for example, Tamil Nadu. I went in to Chennai in Tamil Nadu, so they have different COVID rules, so I had to print another T and E pass as well. So make sure you come to the airport 4 hours earlier so that you can get the stuff sorted out in case you don't know. I didn't know for a very variety of reasons. I wasn't aware that Tamil Nadu had another check apart from Air Suvidha, so I had to actually sit down with my laptop open and fill in all those forms. So yeah, it was really strenuous for me, but I do come very early to the airport, so yeah, I could actually just show the form at the check-in gate. So just be aware of what your state or rules also require apart from the air suvidha in case you're going to India. So a couple of things, yeah, be mindful of which country rules are there. So yeah, things are really changing, stuff is dropping by, so yeah, definitely do check that out. Like I mentioned, it's been 4 years since I actually went into Emirates flight or been in an Emirates flight. So things have rapidly changed. One thing is that I also missed the window of Expo 2020. So things were pretty much I couldn't go there. The other thing that I also want to mention is that the state of the airport itself, like most of the shops were closed. There were very few shops that were actually open. So I don't know whether things are going to change. Obviously, it widely depends on the county rules and everything. So some counties don't really allow indoor dining. Essentially, now things have dropped down, but depending on the case rate and everything, things are very much dependent on that. So it was kind of annoying to see the shops weren't open, and was pretty much how a pandemic airport looks like. But yeah, it was still a lot of people, and you have to wear a mask inside. So yeah, it was bustling with a lot of people, which was very nice to see. So Emirates has always been on A13 gate, at least in SFO. So pretty much the same place. It's like the end of the airport. The other thing is that the same airline. So if you're traveling from Emirates, from Dubai in Emirates, so the airline essentially lands around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Emirates has a habit of always landing early. It's the same flight that they clean for 3 hours and prep it, and it's a 4:45 flight. So it's the same flight that comes from Dubai and goes in the same day essentially. So it's a Boeing 777. I was surprised to see it's a Boeing, but most flights coming in from Dubai going back, all of them are Boeing. None of them are A380. A couple of routes are A380, and some of the A380s have premium economy, which is a little luxurious, leather seats and all that stuff. But the one I traveled to was like basic, just economy. So yeah, things didn't change as much. The one good thing about Emirates is that for long haul flights they actually give you a prep kit, which is something very nice. It has socks, toothbrush, eye shutter for your eyes to actually just concentrate and close and sleep if you want to do that. So I really like that. So it's something very special. So yeah, by far of all the flights I've traveled in, be it British Airways, Cathay Pacific, by far the best treatment has always been Emirates. Again, it widely depends on what flights you're actually traveling to and which countries you're traveling from and to. So that actually matters a lot. So if you're actually flying to the US, they treat you very nicely as opposed to some other country. But they've been the nicest people. So yeah, stewardess, obviously, this particular thing still gives me goosebumps, just seeing them just taking their bags and everything. So it's really cool, and they actually board in much ahead of general people, so that they can prep and prepare the flight for boarding. If you follow Jeannie Weenie and other air hostess on the same YouTube channel, they give you a lot of hacks and everything. So yeah, I did try the same thing as well, but since it's a full flight, I didn't expect much to change. So yeah, it's pretty much that. But yeah, as long as you're kind and you thank the air hostess or the stewardess or the flight attendant, you're pretty much assured of a really good treatment. Another thing is that if you're a vegetarian like I am, I obviously, while booking the flight, I actually call the customer service just so that I have a vegetarian meal option prior. But some people are not aware of that fact. So just a pro tip: if you are traveling and you're a vegetarian, or if you want special meals, definitely let them know in advance and not 48 hours prior to that. But yeah, as you can see, it was a super crowded flight. Boarding took a while. Again, this is very much a thing with Emirates, that the boarding takes a really long time. They actually takes about an hour sometimes. It's kind of slow compared to other airlines, but nevertheless it always lands on time or before, mostly before. But yeah, you can see that this flight, I managed to get a window seat after convincing to people and talking to in the gate. So yeah, I got pretty much the last seat in the plane, so my boarding group did change from C to D and all that stuff. And here's me wiping down everything. Unlike United, which I traveled last time, they didn't actually give a wet wipe, which was very nice of United. They actually gave a Clorox wipe and it reeked of bleach, but in Emirates I had to use my own wet wipe. So yeah, it was that, but obviously the entertainment system of Emirates is one of the best. Like, you have the best movies in the I system that they call, so you can actually see shows, pretty much new movies and everything. So here's me cleaning the tray table, and they give headphones as always. So headphones again are pretty much like the faux leather, so that's there. A blanket, so that's there. And I have this in-flight magazine and all that stuff. And as always, as tradition goes, I always take this the safety check and I read it, just so that I know the instructions. But it's just like a blooper, just so a small tradition that I do. I've been doing that since a kid, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, so this is this flight configuration, 777-300. So 3 seats on the side towards the windows and 4 seats in the middle. Again, aisle seat, it just goes up to $150 and all that stuff. And as you know, window seat is my favorite. So yeah, this is the kit I was talking about, where they give you eye shutter, socks, and everything, so that you won't actually bother the flight attendant like, hey, I want a brush or something like that. And being a long haul flight, we actually want some refreshments to like actually be fresh and all that stuff. So it was a nice gesture. They actually give you this before taking off, so everybody has a kit. But yeah, most of this was like very paperish. Some of them are cloth based, so if you want cloth based, you can just ask them for that. But it's a nice cute pouch. And here we are taking off, and this particular takeoff took like 45 minutes. This is a short time lapse, but by the time I was holding the phone, I'm like, we still haven't taken off. And it was very, very nice. And just after taking off, you get a meal about 40 minutes from that time, and it's usually a breakfast or a pre-dinner or something like that. So if you're traveling in from SFO, it's usually a dinner. I didn't like it as much. It was just very potato-y, and it was nice, but not that great. Like, usually Emirates food is like super great. And as tradition goes, if you are following the channel for a very long time, I like to take a picture of the restroom and see, and goes to show what all are there. This is a very roomy restroom. Surprisingly, that's usually towards the middle of the the flight craft. So if you're in economy and you're in the middle and you want a roomier restroom, definitely use that. So yeah, here's me going to Dubai. There's more to this channel, so definitely subscribe. See you later.